I'm Newsbeate's Eleanor Roper, and I've come to Oxford to meet with 24-year-old Alex Lynn as he embarks on his first season as a driver in Formula E. This is your big moment. This is what you've been waiting for. How does it feel now looking ahead to your first season?
I suppose, to be honest, it's everything you work for over the years and years of practice, you know, as you come through the ranks in different categories. And, you know, ever since I started racing when I was in karting, you build up to the moment where you're prepared and you're ready to take your opportunity when it comes. And that's the benefit of being a reserve driver. You learn everything in the background and, you know, at a slightly slower pace, and then when the time comes, you're completely ready to do the job.
And are you living your dream now?
I'd say, yeah, I'm extremely. When I become champion, then I'll be living the dream.
So you're not happy yet?
No, never settle.
Alex takes us to Silverstone to show us his cars before they're shipped off for the start of the season. Okay, so talk us through the controls.
So obviously it seems like there's quite a lot, but the three main ones we've got are these ones here. So the brake setting, the paddle, which is changing the regen of the car, and the torque, which is the power output.
In case you were wondering, the regen is a way of recharging the battery during the race. And while we're at it, here are a few other Formula E basics. There are 10 teams and each team has 2 drivers. All of the cars have the same chassis and battery, but other parts of the car can be changed by the team's engineers.
Energy figures, lap time, lap delta, laps remaining.
And when you're driving, obviously you're trying to focus on the road. Can you still take in all this data at the same time?
Yeah, well, you have to.
Okay.
Otherwise, we won't win the race.
So lots of complicated things, but it all sort of makes sense when you're driving.
Proving that boys can multitask.
Proving that we can multitask slightly.
There's a lot to think about.
Well, I'm sure if you ask those guys in there, they'll say that I can't.
No.
So, yeah.
And we got your name here. That must be really exciting.
Yeah, no, it is exciting.
But you've taken a picture of that.
I haven't yet.
You need to.
Yeah. It feels like reality now. It feels like we're finally ready, and as a team, we're going together to the first test. And then after that will be the first race, and you know, it's where it all counts now. All the talking stops, and it's about business.
And as reality sets in for Alex, we head to Valencia for pre-season testing. It's the last chance for the teams to size each other up before the season begins. That's pretty fast. While electric cars might not be as loud as Formula One cars, they're still pretty fast, with top speeds of around 140 miles an hour.
The car is pretty traditional in the sense that it's a single-seater race car, so the architecture is pretty standard. But obviously the big difference is that these cars run purely on electricity, so no petrol, no fuel tank, nothing. So in a nutshell, behind the driver, where you would normally have the fuel tank, we have a pretty large battery, and then an electric motor that then drives the wheels.
It's the battery which is the main limitation. At the moment, each driver needs 2 cars to complete a race, with a driver changeover happening at around halfway through. And the car change is one of the many things they're practicing here in Valencia. They're collecting data and fine-tuning the car before the season begins. So how did that go?
It was a good, positive day. Lots done, many laps. A few problems with the car, which is actually a good positive thing at this time of the season. So we rectified those, and yeah.
The next morning, I grab Alex for a rare bit of downtime. So, the big question is, did you pass your driving test first time?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Any minors? Any problems?
I got 8 minors.
Okay.
Which, you know, fair amount,
yeah.
But you know, enough. But I think I took it only 2 weeks after I turned 17.
And have you ever been done for speeding?
Oh, that's a question. Officially, never. No.
So how old were you when you decided you wanted to take up racing for the first time?
I actually first started racing motorbikes when I was 5. I've got a little 50cc motorbike, and that's where it all started really. And then I switched to racing go-karts instead.
Did that require your parents to drive you around a lot? Were they sort of ferrying you back and forth from competitions and stuff?
No, my mum spent a lot of time in the car with me, driving up and down the country. A lot of early mornings and late nights, so I've got a lot to be thankful for.
The first 2 races of the season are both in Hong Kong. It's a great start for DS Vrgin.
And we go green in Hong Kong!
But it's Alex's teammate Sam who wins the race.
Sam Bird wins in Hong Kong, the opening race of the season. As we go green in Hong Kong once again, through the final corner, out onto Longway Road. Who has got the best start and who is going to know where to brake? Alex Lynn is in 5th place, into his garage, and now he does the driver change.
And it's technical problems that hold Alex back.
Sam Bird in 6th because Alex Lynn ran into trouble and has ended up finishing in 10th place. Alex Lynn ran out of usable energy, he must have done at the end of the race because he was crawling over the line.
Before every race, the drivers use a simulator to practice driving on the upcoming track. It's a chance to get to grips with the tight twists and turns that come with a street track.
We had our first race in Hong Kong. That went well. We got 2-point scoring finishes, so wasn't the dream scenario, but I think it was a solid start for the whole team. So in that sense, it was a good start.
Alex's engineer talks us through what went wrong for them in Hong Kong.
The issue was we had an energy problem, which meant that Alex ran low of energy on the last lap and unfortunately dropped some positions before he got to the line. Hong Kong was a little bit of a mixed bag. Generally it was quite a positive weekend, but a few little mistakes meant that we didn't quite get the most out of it from what I think the potential was, but overall still quite a strong start.
So we're here in Marrakech, we made it, and it's a really amazing place for a race. It's boiling hot, there's palm trees everywhere, and yet behind us is the Atlas Mountains. We've been told that there's just been 2 meters of snowfall, so it's this amazing contrast between this gorgeous hot tropical weather and then all these snowy mountains.
As the final preparations are underway, we catch up with Alex as he looks ahead to the race.
It would feel weird if you didn't feel nervous, and also it's what you've only known for me since I've been 10 years old, since I started racing, and for me it almost feels like home to have that feeling. You end up sort of enjoying it. You feel like, yeah, this is me now. This is what I do. This is what I live for, and that's that feeling of pressure and excitement all at the same time.
We also meet Alex's teammate Sam.
Alex is a really strong teammate, nice guy, great to work with, but you have to remember that Alex is in his first year and I'm the one with all of the experience, so Alex is catching up in that respect. It's only natural at the moment that experience counts for something, but very soon it's not going to be long until I'm scratching my head wondering where the time is when he's quicker.
On race morning, Alex qualifies in 6th place, with Sam qualifying in 2nd.
Yeah, feeling good. Obviously starting P2 it's not perfect, but it's the front row, so nobody ahead of me apart from Seb. Need to try and get a podium from here.
It's looking good.
It's looking okay. It's looking okay. There's plenty of quick guys behind, a quick guy in front. It's still going to be tough, but we're in the right place.
The most rock and roll part of the race day so far. The track's now completely full of VIPs and like Instagram influencers and stuff. You can see all of the teams, all of the cars are in their positions ready for the race. So Alex is here in 6th position. He's got all of his engineers standing by. He's meeting fans and VIPs, and then we've all got to leave before the race starts.
This is my first race that I've been to, indeed.
What do you make of it so far?
Very exciting. I got to drive one of the cars. I think the exciting thing about this is obviously the technology that they're developing for the cars on the track today, which obviously is moving at a very rapid pace, will have an impact on everything that we see at home driving, which is obviously going to have a great effect on the environment. So I've always loved cars, I've always loved fast cars, and now this is kind of like, you know, this has a guilt-free capacity to it, because you can enjoy all of that whilst knowing you're doing something that, you know, is hopefully going to forward, you know, the good work at home and the environment, you know. The batteries are already not even an issue, and now it's just about like the infrastructure, that's charging stations and stuff like that. The knock-on effect to cars charging at home, you know, I mean, I think one of it is that'll be amazing, won't it, when it's not an issue.
In the UK, the government has said that from 2040, all new petrol and diesel cars will be banned. With a date now set, pressure is mounting on car manufacturers to develop electric technology, and all eyes are looking to Formula E as they drive this change.
Personally, I think 2040 is too long. I mean, I think there are governments in Europe that have said by 2025, all new cars must be battery driven. And that's what I would really hope that every government around the world do, so that would really speed up the process.
I think here we're going to see the prices going down massively of batteries in the next years, and we're going to see range extending a lot. And you know, those problems will get sorted, and everyone will buy electric cars.
At the moment, the main challenge facing electric cars is their battery. 22 years might seem like a long way off, but with every year there is another step forward. Next season, drivers will go from 2 cars down to 1, which means the battery in one car can now last for a whole race.
I mean, next year we're going to have a new regulation with only 1 car for driver instead of 2. That will show that to the world that we have improved by 100% the potential of the batteries, you know, and the technologies.
You've got the major manufacturers coming on board like Porsche, Mercedes, BMW, Audi, Nissan. They're all coming on board, and that's because they want to have a racing car in an electric racing series, because we all want to sit in a car that can do 300 miles on one charge, and it all stems from Formula E.
What's it like being surrounded by so many people? Everyone wants a piece of you when at a time when you really need to be working and concentrating?
You have to just take it in your stride, and to be honest, in 4 hours' time I'll be sitting in my hotel room with no one around me, so you just got to take it in your stride, and you just got to deliver the result, to be honest.
And we go green in Marrakech. It's a good start from Rosenquist. He cuts towards the inside. Good start from De Grassi as well, as he looks to the outside in his Audi. There's a few lockups here and there. But at the end of lap 1, Bird is looking super racy up at the front. He is the championship leader. Remember, and off goes Alex Lynn. He's been hit. Daniel Abt, I think it was, who was trying to climb up the order. And Lynn has been sent spinning from 6th place. He drops right to the back, and Alex Ty, the team principal, stony-faced.
Looked like that was just a bit of an over-enthusiasm.
Is the car okay?
I think so.
So Alex Lynn saying he thinks the car is okay, and he will carry on his way. This is Alex Lynn coming in. In 3rd, so he should be 2nd in the championship.
It's the podium spot that Sam was asking for, and despite being knocked to the back of the race, Alex makes it back up the order, finishing in 10th place.
Pretty disappointing, really. Not much to say.
You did really well though to recover and come back as well as you did.
Yeah, well, it's not really worth anything, so it is what it is.
Let's just talk about Alex for a minute, because obviously a bit of a disaster for him.
Yeah, it wasn't good at all for Alex. He was battling with Daniel Abt over what was 6th position, I think, at the time, and Abt tried to overtake him. They hit each other. Lim was sent spinning, and you have to feel for Alex, really. The stewards decided to punish Daniel Abt for it, and that's all well and good, and those are the rules, but it doesn't give Alex his place back. But he still finished in 10th place, so to recover from that, to be in the war at the back and finish in 10th and score a point, I think he'll be disappointed, but in the grand scheme of things, quite happy with how he performed.
Hey, congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, good points to the team again. Good points to myself. Okay, we're not leading the championship now, but there's still a long way to go. The main thing is that we've got points on the board every single race and good points.
I thought you'd be happier. We're so excited for you.
No, third is like second of the losers, so.
But sadly, Alex doesn't leave his bad luck behind.
About to find out, and it is Lynn, race over, pulls to the side of the track. That's a shame for Alex.
Absolutely, he's done a great job this season, and it's just not come together yet as far as issues happening.
On to Mexico City, and things are looking up. Alex qualifies in second place, but it's technical problems which hold him back. A gearbox penalty means he ends up starting in 12th place and finishing 10th.
Here come the lights now, all 5 lights are on, and we go green in Uruguay. A very quick start from Vern.
Uruguay makes for some exciting competition between Alex and Sam.
Lynn in 3rd position, then Bird there down in 8th position. Going to be a tight one between the two DS Vrgin teammates. Oh!
Holy smokes.
Sam Bird has got out in front of Alex Lynn, so the two DS Vrgins have swapped positions.
Sam gets himself back on the podium with Alex coming in 6th place.
Well done, boys.
And the hard work doesn't stop once Alex is off the track.
So I suppose my height as a racing driver is quite unusual. I'm quite a tall racing driver.
Alex is 6'1".
I have to watch my weight maybe more so than other drivers. I think it's been a long time since I was literally just like, I can eat whatever I want from now on. It's a mindset when you go the distance or you go that extra mile, even if it's just, a mental thing, a symbolic thing in the gym, but it translates into your whole life and certainly into your professional life. Pressure is a privilege for someone because at the end of the day it means that someone is expecting a certain type of performance from you, whether it's from yourself or it's from the team that backs you and supports you. The reason why there's pressure is because they believe in you, and as I said, they believe in me. So yeah, I do feel pressure in a way of I don't want to let them down. We have put in so much work.
And one of those backing Alex all the way is Vrgin founder Sir Richard Branson.
Well, the world is heating up, and we have to move the world to a world that's powered by clean energy. And so if we can come up with exciting ways to try to get people involved in moving to clean energy, so much the better. What more exciting way could there be than really exciting motor racing taking place in cities all over the world?
All of the big car manufacturers are getting behind Formula E, and that's because as well as the race on the track, they're also competing to develop their own electric cars. And Jaguar is one of the first teams in the championship to bring one out.
What's really exciting is this year we launched the new Jaguar I-Pace, our first battery electric production car. And that's a car which will have a range of around 400 miles, which is phenomenal in terms of range. It's the technical transfer of the technology we develop in the race car that we apply to our road cars to make them ultimately better cars for our consumers to drive and enjoy. And Formula E is a really aggressive racing environment. We're pushing the boundaries of the technology right to the limit. So what we learn here ultimately will make cars that drive more efficiently and faster, more enjoyably for our consumers. And that's really key. From a consumer point of view, there's a very limited number of electric cars that you can buy in the market. Well, we're about to see a massive step change. We're a generation that will see the change from combustion engines to electrification, much like a generation that saw the move from steam to petrol.
We're taking the new I-Pace for a spin around Rome, and it's Jaguar driver Nelson Piquet Jr. behind the wheel.
The technology that these cars are coming out with, you just feel so much more, it's a mixture of comfort and the handling of the car. Everything just feels great. No noise, no sound.
It is very quiet.
Yeah, I think Formula E is helping make people more aware of the technology that the electric cars can do. I mean, the power that we have. Electric cars are not only an idea of the future. It's the present, you know. We're launching cars, we're racing them already around the world. I think it's just going to help people be more aware of you know, how evolved this technology of electric car is already.
From South America to Rome, where the teams will take to the streets tomorrow to begin the European leg of the championship. It's been a mixed start for Alex. He's qualified well and scored points in almost all of his races, but some technical problems have held him back. He'll be hoping to make up for it in tomorrow's race.
Finish. Oh, he's off! Lynn in the barriers again! He crashed in free practice 1 and he has crashed in free practice 2. Can he dig himself out of those Tech Pro barriers? A grimace again on the face of Alex Dye.
Yeah.
There, you hear that? Yeah, there he goes.
There have been 2 practice sessions on the track in Rome this morning, and Alex has crashed his car in both. After we spoke to him after the first crash, he was trying to downplay it and he said this always happens in Formula E, but I don't think anyone could have expected that he would do the same thing again in the second practice, and this is certainly not part of the plan. You could see him storming off out of the car afterwards.
There's nowhere to hide in the garage when your teammate is going faster than you, so it pushes you to go a little bit maybe beyond the limits of where you should be, and that's what we've seen in both free practice 1 and 2, going a little bit too far, and you end up running into the runoff area, which is the wall. So we're rebuilding the car again.
Putting the morning's practice sessions behind him, Alex qualifies in 11th place. Sam is back up at the front, qualifying in 2nd. Fans are really important to Formula E because they can directly influence the outcome of the race. It's called Fan Boost. You vote online for your favourite driver, and the 3 drivers with the most votes will get an extra boost of power during the race.
I think it's a really good idea because it gives you the choice to vote for your favourite. Turby's from Penrith, so we get to vote for him and just give him a little helping hand.
I like a lot of Fan Boost because it gives a whole new social dimension to the race, and that's a really good way of interacting with the driver.
So yeah, we've got about 20 minutes to go now. Are you interested in Formula E?
Yes, very much.
And what do you think about having an electric car?
I think this is the future, and so to have this kind of technology tested out here and invented here is fantastic.
These cars are definitely the future, economically and efficiently. You know. Radio 1, you know I love you. It's your boy, Idris Elba. Oh, see you later.
Oh, just trying to stay relaxed. I've got to obviously speak to my engineer about the plan, but we've spoken about it so much that I feel ready, I'm calm, and just looking forward to it.
Yeah, obviously, feeling good. We're about to start in a minute, so yeah, just getting focused really and listening to what the team says, and we go from there.
And we go green in Rome, and it's a lot of wheel spin for Rosenqvist. Berg fancies a look up the inside on the run down to turn 1, and it's a good start from Lotterer, but it's Rosenqvist who leads. No big position changes apart from Oliver Turvey. Oh, and into the back, Alex Lynn crashes again into the back of Jean-Eric Vergne.
I've got front wing damage, mate. I've got front wing damage.
Okay, box this lap for front wing. Box this lap.
Alex Lynn has been shown the black flag with an orange disc, which means you have to come into the pits and repair your damage. It's not safe to stay out.
Oh, Alex Lynn again. No, he's stopped. Yeah, he hasn't hit anything. He's looking for a safe spot. And is that turn 10?
Rosenqvist is slowing from the race lead. The left rear is bent. The Swede shakes his head because he's out of the Rome E-Prix. Sandberg leading, who is going to launch himself up into 2nd place in the championship, up into championship contention as he takes victory in the first Rome E-Prix.
It feels amazing. It was a very difficult race, first stint. I think Felix had the edge on us, but all in all, we hung on in there. We just about did enough today.
While the team celebrates Sam's success, Alex's car is returned to the garage on a recovery truck.
He is very, very resilient. He does bounce back quickly. He'll have a bad night tonight, and I think by tomorrow he'll be back on it, ready to focus on the next race.
It was tricky in the garage because obviously you're here supporting Alex.
yet the other half of the garage is celebrating Sam's win. How tough is that for you?
I mean, it's always disappointing because it's a competition after all. But I mean, you get to know everybody, so I know Sam's family, so I'm happy for them. Obviously, you're not cheering for who you want to cheer for, but I'm still happy for them, so yeah.
Teammates in any motorsport team are always pushing each other. You know, Sam can always learn things from Alex, Alex can always learn things from Sam, and you know, both are competing against each other, so they always want to beat each other. But you know, there's times when Sam will have the upper hand, and there's time when Alex will have the upper hand, and you know, that's motorsport.
Bells are too hard. Alex has been so quick all season.
Yeah.
And he had a bad day.
Yeah, I know.
He will bounce back, and I'm sure that by tomorrow morning he'll be absolutely normal and back to working his hard self.
Everyone in Formula E is looking for a better performance, whether it's the engineers trying to get more from the technology or the drivers trying to better their position in the standings. Everyone involved wants the sport to succeed. On his return to the garage, Alex is as professional as ever. Despite a really tough day, he's smiling and manages to see the positives.
I think every top athlete or top driver always has self-doubt, but usually, you know, I think for the good guys, it doesn't take long to shut that out, and you're already concentrating on the next event or the next session. And I'm the kind of guy that's going to go away and work even harder than we've done before, because that's what you need to do.
After 7 months of following Alex, it's time for us to leave him behind. He's got 5 races ahead of him, and his boss believes he's long overdue a spot on that podium.
Some of the results that he should have had been taken away from him because we've had those technical issues. Getting that race pace, getting to the position where you're starting to win races, I think Alex is overdue now.
It's never over until it's over, and I think you always believe in yourself, and you know, there's always the next race, there's always the next session, the next lap, the next corner. I wouldn't be here if I didn't believe I could be Formula E champion one day.
We'll keep watching.
I hope so.
I wonder if a sport has ever been so relevant as car manufacturers continue to sign up, and with drivers like Felipe Massa also coming over from Formula 1, it looks like Formula E is just getting started.
Sunday you see it racing, Monday you see it on the street. The technology that's being discovered, the technology that they're developing actually goes into road cars.
Formula 1 will no longer exist if it continues to drive petrol-driven cars indefinitely.
We'll be looking to the drivers and those building the cars as they fight not just for a spot at the top of the sport, but for our business too, as whether we like it or not, we're going electric.